Welcome to Spitfire episode 21, the London special. And joining me this week, of course, is my co-host. It is going to be Tunn. It looks like we might have had a
we have had an as soon as it starts.
Not gone well. So Tunn's here. Tunn will be doing things in the background. But more importantly, our guests for this week. It's a London special. So we've got a couple of Londoners on. One of which is long-time returning person, Mr. Reedy. Reedy, how are you?
I'm good, mate. I've just had an epiphany. Episode 21, 21 Savage, English man, London special, say nothing. Tell me that's not smart. Tell me that's not smart. Epiphany.
Let's move on to our other guest from Gfinity, because the upcoming CWL London event is going to be done by Gfinity, and it's a return to the Copper Box. It is former Call of Duty caster and a very good friend of mine, Chris Trout. Trout, how are you?
Like I'm not friends of all of you.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Well, you know, I just wanted to emphasise how good friends we are, Trout. That's what I was going for.
I'm good friends with everyone here.
Yeah, but I wanted to emphasise our friendship over this.
All right. Yes, we go way back because you used to work for us and then you left.
Right. I can see how this episode's kicking off. We do have a potential.
Oh my god. Oh, it's not already started, is it? It's not already. Yeah, I think he's realised.
You see, I am having to mute my mic so I can sort out the production. This has been a bad start. It's been a bad start.
No, you're back. You're
back. You're back.
Yeah,
I'm just figuring out the production. We're getting there.
I'm going to change audio. Tell me how bad this is.
I mean, on the stream, I'm still part Reedy. Oh, it's been fixed now.
No, I'm fixing it and then transition it on it.
Oh, now I'm just disappeared off the stream. This is a scuff. Redo, end the stream, restart
it. Basically, you know, this is what's going to happen in London. Production will be awful.
No, it was because when Madcat joined, it threw me off. I'm not going to lie.
My mic keeps kicking out again. I don't know what. Zoom hates me. Why does Zoom hate me now? For no reason.
Yeah. Well, at least I ain't on Discordia.
Yeah, Discord I had the webcam problems. Now I come on Zoom and it goes shit on. Let's start on the topic now because Spitfire is already running a bit late. Let's talk straight onto our very first topic. The recent late player controversy. Many pros voicing their displeasure about pros, let's say, not being punctual or professional in terms to practicing. I'm going to straight to Reedy for this one. Before the stream, you said you used to be late a lot.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I used to be late back in 2016, 17, like when there wasn't money involved in a player's salary. Over the years went on, and people started getting salaries and stuff. You started getting fined for being late. I don't know what these coaches are doing nowadays, or these orgs are doing right now. I mean, I'm gonna throw out there midnight. That's all I see on Twitter from them guys. Someone's sleeping, someone's bloody not on for a scrim. It's ridiculous. Like, I mean, you're getting paid X amount of money each month, and it's not like it's pocket change. It's a lot of money. Like, I think the salaries in Call of Duty are so inflated. Inflated and fluctuated. Like, it's the bubble's ridiculous. So, like, for people to be late, it's just no excuses. Like, you've got 4 other people now that you're letting down. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, this year I wasn't late barely ever. Like, if I wasn't on, there was an issue. But if I on at 6 every single day, even before 6 to get a little warm up in, you know.
I think, well, first of all, just we're not touching on that at the moment, but you are right. I don't think there's a single person I know of that doesn't think current player salaries are too high. It is quite reasonably a joke. But that's, you know, but neither here nor there on this topic. Players being late. Trout, what do you think?
You know, I think at this point in the esports kind of lifespan, it's not really a good look, especially when you're going into like franchising next year, where players, you know, it's going to be a little bit more serious than it is already this year. There's going to be a lot of money, a lot of teams involved in this that are going to expect, you know, a degree of professionalism from you. And not to say that there's not a lot of professionalism in some of the players already, but being on time for practice, like if you're a professional sports person, you didn't turn up on time for practice, you know, you get fined, you'd get a real bollocking for not being for not taking your job seriously and not being there on time.
Yeah.
So, a lot of teams you can look at it and say like they're not really committed to the cause, they're going to lose out, and obviously they're not going to place very well. And when you look at some of the teams who are being late, and if they're not placing well, then you can kind of see where you can put 2 and 2 together to see where it's not going right. But I can also understand the frustration for who they've organised that scrim with, because you've wasted their time. They're ready to go. They've organised to practice with you. You're not only taking away from their time, but they could have easily gotten someone else to scrim with in place of you. So it's a frustrating ordeal, and I think that a lot of people should really take it more seriously.
No, I can't disagree with anything you said there. Tunn, sound like you want to jump in?
Yeah, I just sort of like I was thinking of it in the aspect. Imagine if it was I want to say a real job, but like say you worked in an office or something, you were constantly like 10 to 15 minutes late. You get sorted out, wouldn't you? It's not acceptable anywhere else, so why should it be acceptable here? I think we need to make sure that teams are turning up on time, but I think it has to be the responsibility of the management rather than the players. Like, certain players shouldn't have to take onus on it. They should be making sure all the managers of each team and coaches of each team should make sure people are on time. I don't know how you implement that for like turning up on time to meetings with other people, of course, like obviously in terms of scrims, but realistically, something needs to be done about it. And if it was any other normal job, you would
take the money off them. Take the fucking money off them.
Tell
take
them,
the
Dill.
spot away from them. Listen,
spot gone. That's it. 20 mil franchising.
Listen, shut up, Ton. Listen, when I was playing, and any teammate that could vouch for me, or even when I went to school, college, I am the most punctual player in the scene. Bro, it's pathetic. Honestly, embarrassing. Because let's put it straight, the scrims already start late. It's not a normal hours. You don't start. You work till like what? Is it 3 p.m. the new schedule is in America?
Yeah.
3 p.m.
Yeah.
Your parents are normally walking home or finishing around that time. So what the fuck have you been doing all day? Like you take them like realistically. I wanted scrims to start at 12. You scrim 5-6 hours, and then you have the evening off and act like a normal person. You go to bed at a normal time. But no, these people have no source of value for time, money, personal life. Like they don't have no value for anything. COD players are the laziest wankers going to date. And I'll say it now. I said it on Twitter every week. I've had players not turn up to fucking events on time, like legit come to Championship Sunday, not on time, not have a warm up.
No, I get it.
Take the money away from them. Take the fucking money away from them. I don't think they even care then, because all they do is just sit at home, live off their parents realistically. So really, the money, just take the spot away from them. That you want to be in the franchise, you want to be, take the spot away from them, you're gone. Fuck off. Don't want you here. You're being more destructive than you are being fucking an asset to the team.
Yeah.
Last man, COD players pathetic, but yeah, carry on.
No, so see, here's the thing, right? So I've not commented on this.
Oh no. Let me add. And then they also have a cheat to tweet about passion. Suck your mum.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Every night, I've just perfected my craft, but you can't wake up on time for scrims.
Yeah, you perfected your craft like when everyone's asleep. Yeah, fucking great job. You fucking inbred.
All right. So I'm going to weigh in now, and I thought I was going to be the angry one here. I haven't mentioned this on Twitter for a very good reason, because it's hard to provide context in tweets. But if we're being perfectly honest, it is a disgrace for a player to consistently turn up, or even turn up late a few times, to any sort of team-orientated event, scrimming, whatever, especially scrimming. You're wasting 9 other players' times. Now, bearing in mind here that players' salaries at the moment, we'll call it 10 grand a player for just to get it out there. You are being paid an exceptional amount of money to play what for many people is a dream job. Now, I understand it's hard work. I understand it's graft, and I understand that these players have earned their way there. But to not turn up on time is disrespectful, and quite frankly, if I was in charge of an org, that would be cause for me thinking about dropping you. Because if you're not serious about playing and winning and practicing and getting better for your team, what the fuck are you doing here?
Well, it's not a graft if you're not putting in the graft. You turn up late.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like,
it's not a graft. It's a graft, yeah. But even if you turn up early, you wake up at a normal time. That is not a graft. Like, boom, say you wake up at 9, 10.
I was talking about the grind to get into a pro team.
You feel good. Well, like, yeah. I guess in this day and age, yeah, but like we're talking about the people who are late, have been around for quite some time. These aren't just the nobodies that are coming on late. It's everyone. I had teammates this year. You couldn't even set up a scrim for 5 p.m. because they couldn't wake up for 5 p.m. 5 p.m. I'm ready to fucking go to bed in a few hours. Like, do you like realize how long I've been up?
No.
Six-
Oh, I agree,
Yeah.
Maggot. Here's the thing. I 100% agree. It is genuinely disgusting. If you're a pro player and you can't get on for a set time each day, you are quite frankly disgusting. Because let's put it this way, right? You think of any sport. We're talking about, I don't know. Let's take the NFL for example, right? Their practice sessions. Now these are players that regularly like basically break their body. And they are the greatest athletes for their team that they can be. So they could be sore, they could be whatever, injuries, but they will still turn up on time. Because then if they don't, it goes against you. The current culture now, because of the way the players control shit, means that they think there is no consequences. I agree there should be fines. I honestly, like I said before, if I was a franchise owner or I had weighing in a franchise and a player just didn't care enough to get themselves there on time, is a massive red flag for me. I don't care how good you are.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
you
care
need
if you
to
got your last chip.
get
That is
all
a
the
red
platforms.
flag, and that is me looking to see whether or not it's viable to replace you in the future.
No, but you need at that point you need to look at management. You need to look at the people they're employing, the people, the structure they've got around. Clear the players are left to go on online on their own with a noddy coach. Because let's be honest, these coaches that are coaching them are noddy coaches. They're just sat there to get paid as well. Write a couple of notes down and give it them. The noddies, they've got no fucking mate. They've got nothing about them. They've got no fucking authority in their teams. There's nothing about them. The noddies with a piece of paper. Let's be real about it. These players are noddies as well. It's all a shambles. Listen, the fucking first fucking manager or fucking coach that goes in there takes their fucking salary, and I'm talking £100 because they're getting paid 10 bags. £100 is literally probably what they spend a day on food. I'm talking take fucking 60% off them, show them you are not fucking about, and then they will show up on time. But until then, do not bitch about it. And do not bitch on Twitter about it until you take action. I'm seeing coaches, and I'm gonna put it out there. What's his name? Saint. Brian Saint talking about people. Bro, go to the management, make it in order that these players do not get paid hardly any of their salary that month. Just literally,
Quick.
just literally prove a point to them that you will not fuck about with them, that their spot can go real quick. And if you show them you're going to take 60, 70% from them, the next chance is you get dropped. And there's many people out there, there's players out there that are hungry and more skilled than some of these players that are being late. Let's not put it out there. There's a lot of talent out there. So you can be replaced. Let's not get it twisted.
Oh no, I
Bro,
agree.
just wake up. Just wake up. I don't know how hard it is. Go to bed and wake up.
No, I agree, and I think the most egregious thing here is the fact that these scrims are taking place at like 3. Like if it was a 9 a.m. session, some people are like, oh, maybe, but no, it's genuinely unbelievable. And I know people say it's only 5 minutes, only 10 minutes. I saw some horrific comment today that I was going to tweet out about people, like someone says they should stop crying about scrims. Who gives a shit about scrims? Scrims are practice. Scrims are literally one of the most important things. Perfect practice means so much in
Scrims
this.
is almost as important as the event. If you don't, okay, all the teams stop scrimming. Let one team scrim. Who's going to win the event? Fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Let's get into a new subject, man. I'm getting angry.
Just to kind of sum this topic up, then we'll to think about it. So I think we're all in agreement. I think fines should come in. I think next year contracts should definitely have it in here.
Yeah.
Fines for scrims. I would like to. I would agree with Madcat and say that I would like to see coaches have more teeth. And I hope with a franchise system of people putting that amount of money into it, that they have the common sense to have a management system that basically runs the team rather than the players. I have nothing against players, but I just think enough's enough.
I mean, when I was on Elevate on IW, like Watson, myself, Emrai, and Zach, we like you can imagine that team having issues with getting on late and stuff. And Joel, yeah, Joel, our coach at the time, literally went to Elevate and said, "Look, like they didn't go to him or anything. He went, look, we need to put something in where if a player's late, you're finding them." As soon as that got implemented, like we was on every single day, like without fail, at the right time. Like it was always another team's fault why it was running late. So I mean, there are some coaches out there that will take initiative, but majority of these coaches are literally just happy to be sitting there getting paychecks with the boys. Because I will say there's about, I think I went on a Twitter rant a couple months ago. There's about 4 or 5 coaches that actually deserve their job. Like the rest of them are just literally, honestly, and just friends of a friend.
Let me
I'll sort you out money.
Really, let me put this out here as well. I need you to give me your insight on this. All right, Revan. I know Revan's on at least 10 bags a month. E.g., honestly, the worst team in the league. When's he gonna take some fucking? When's he gonna take some responsibility for the shit show? The players are getting dropped left, right, and center, but he still remains there in his job. He's still getting paid 10 racks.
Yeah, I feel like that's the kind of stuff will start happening next year.
Yeah,
When it comes
hello.
to it definitely should. I definitely think they should look at the coaches, but in COD, it's just a lot different. Where it's a lot of the players' fault in terminology. But like if you look in traditional sports, the first people to go are the coaches. Majority of them don't have a lot of say in the game, so it is what it is. But definitely next year, if franchising does come in, can you not? If franchising comes in,
Before we get too off topic, by the way, I agree with these statements. I think this is 100% true. I think coaches don't. Problem is because nobody really understands a lot of what coaches do right now because it's not very much broadcast. They get away with that flag being thrown at them. I think that's the reason why you're seeing players.
It's not all coaches. There are coaches out there that are doing a lot for their team and make it more of a unit. Because the only way to do it at the moment when players have charges is make them a unit, have a unit and whatnot. But like you're tweeting out saying your team's late. Why is Twitter being used? Like you've got authority. You are an employee of the company. Like why are you not having some form of say or speaking to your higher ups about why the players are not on late? Like that sort of shit, get them like fined, etc. It's really just pathetic. Honestly, it's what's the word? It's just childish. It really is. Like it's a fucking job. You're getting paid racks. You know how much racks they're actually getting paid? I don't think they notice. Like, and most of them don't have a plan B. So if I was you, I'd get playing every day or fucking day and come on time because if you've got a plan B, you're not getting paid close to anything like that. So take the opportunity, take it with both hands because it can go instantly. And I know firsthand it can go in a couple of days. And don't let it be that you was late. Like, but what? Like, oh, I'm not playing COD anymore. Why? I was late every day. You're getting paid 10 racks. What?
Yeah, could you imagine that? Like, in the well, I guess I don't want to say real world, but like in any kind of normal job, just you got paid really well. Yeah, I had to practice for like 6 hours a day. What you got dropped? 10 grand just gone because you couldn't turn up. You couldn't turn your PS4 and your PC on for 3 p.m. each day. Like you were incapable of doing it.
The biggest thing that there's that as well. But what Dylan said is like, do these people not want like have a life outside of gaming? Like, I mean, if I, heaven forbid, if I was still like a player back now, I would want to be having scrims and be finishing by the time my fiance gets in the house and spend time with her. Not like.
I've already done something. It's a few players, and if it's a one player in every team that messes up, you can't force them to come on. Like
they should have to.
I tried to get scrims on early, and it was like one player from every team couldn't get up at a certain time because all of them are little friendship circles, and they'd fuck everything up. And it's pathetic. I just don't understand it, man. Like they'll regret it if it fucks them over in the end, and let them fucking be their own fucking nightmare in the end. But
yeah,
take the money off them, man.
I like the hashtag MadFacts. All right, let's move this topic on before we run, because we can talk about this all night because it is quite frankly ridiculous, right? It is ridiculous. CWL London is of course coming up. I know most of us are starting to travel to it. Chris Trout, this is a return for Gfinity to the Copper Box Arena. The last time was in G3, and I can't remember what game it was on. It was so long ago.
Ghosts.
It was Ghosts.
You were there.
I know I was there. Yes, Trout. But if I remember correctly,
you casted the final.
If I remember correctly, I was quite tired that weekend because of the fires going on behind.
Didn't you get food poisoning during the week?
I got food poisoning just before
we went
the
to
event.
Sushi, and you got food poisoning.
Yeah.
Or was that a different one?
No, that was
I think it wasn't.
That was G3. I got food poisoning just before the event, and then during the event, I had to take care of 33 members of talent. Then I ran the stage, and I was casting as well. So, There's a
Cry me
reason
a
I've blocked it out.
fucking river, Jesus.
Let's talk about what it means for Gfinity to be back in the COD game, because I believe AW was the last time we saw a Gfinity event.
No,
on the
Infinite
IW.
Warfare.
IW. There we go.
Your memory's
it's
shocking.
It is shocking today. I don't know what's going on. Apparently, all the weight I've lost is from my brain. All right, let's talk about Gfinity back in the game then. What does it mean for Gfinity to come back in? Trout, what's the feeling around the office? I know you guys are big COD fans.
Very excited to get back to COD and the copper box. You know, we love everyone in the COD community, and we always have done. It's our bread and butter game, and it's been a pleasure working with the team to get this all organised in the past few months. And yeah, we're excited to see some familiar faces and put on an amazing show for such a great community.
Awesome. It's good to hear. I don't know how much you can reveal about kind of the plan for inside the arena yet. I know I've seen the layout now, and I can say I'm really quite looking forward to it. But what can you reveal to us, Trout?
On Twitter,
In what
innit?
terms? Because the map that was put out on Twitter and other social media is kind of what you're going to expect to see.
Have I not
in
seen
there.
this map? Let's have a look at this map.
Yeah, it was a
I
beautiful.
thought that's
video
what you were
done.
referring to.
Well, no, I've seen the map in an email.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there we go.
that's
There
the
we go.
one.
That's the same map. There's the same map. I see it. I see
Yeah.
it. It's in a video of your face.
Yeah. Well, we put the. Well, we should have done. Yeah, we did. We put the actual PNG up onto Twitter earlier on as well, so you can see how it's all laid out. So it's kind of split down the middle. One half is going to be main stage, where all the seating is going to be, and then the other half is going to be dedicated to the open bracket arena. I had loads of questions about people asking, can we actually watch the open bracket, thinking that for some reason they weren't allowed in there. But everyone is allowed into the open bracket area. It might be that the security has to cap how many people go in there, because if everyone piles in there to watch games, it might get a bit overcrowded and hard to monitor. So there might be a limit on how many people can go in there at one time. But we're going to play it by ear and see how it goes for the first few days. I think the Friday's probably going to be a little bit less traffic than maybe the Saturday and the Sunday, obviously, because it's a Friday. Most people will still be at work. And then up on the concourse areas, you've got I think a couple of the feature stations, and you've got where all the partner activations are going to be happening, where there's lots of Black Ops 4 tournaments going on through the booths that people can get involved in. If for whatever reason you don't actually have a ticket to come, by the way, go to cwl.gfinityesports.com to buy a ticket. You can actually...
Still, right?
Yep, there's probably about 35 left as I'm saying this. Obviously, we put an extra 100 up for people who missed their opportunity to get one themselves. The Asus ROG bus, I'll give a special shout out to them. Their bus is actually outside the venue, so you can rock up and you can still kind of see people and chat away about COD and play some actual games. So even if you're not able to get into the arena for whatever reason, still an opportunity to do stuff outside of it. It's going to be an amazing weekend, even if there are a few people moaning about the prices of London beverages. But, I mean, we live in London.
Yeah, just one farmer, if he's still in the chat.
Yeah, he's not here anymore. He's expecting to pay a bloody $250 for a call in, that kid.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Olympic Arena in London. A couple of quid for a pint, is it?
Yeah. I mean, what I will defend it is Peroni, and Peroni isn't cheap anywhere. I go in Newcastle and a Peroni will cost me a $5. So
£6,
£6.
yeah, £6 for a Peroni is not bad.
It is what it is, isn't it? I have no doubt that everyone will probably still be quite drunk by Sunday night, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
People just like to kick up a fuss and moan because we're English. We'd love a good moan, don't we?
Yeah. Reedy, back to the copper box. What do you think?
I mean, I love it though. G3 was my first time playing there, and then I played there in AW. DreamHack not on, but yeah, I love the copper box, man. It's such a good venue. That's all I got to say about it. I can't wait for it.
Madcat, copper box return. What do you think?
I love the Gfinity events. I've only played one tournament in the copper box, and that was a dead AW one. So I didn't even go to G3.
I remember that. Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
so I've never played at a GFIN and Copper Box. So, but
What was it? 6 teams.
He was like, yeah, 6 teams, yeah. But yeah, GFIN always put on great events. It'll be a great event, then I had to put a show on. Sucks just not playing it, to be honest, but yeah.
I think one of the main things I've kind of got recently is how great it is to see Gfinity back in the space. I don't know what it is, but there seems to be a special kind of nostalgia for Gfinity events.
Because every event's just been good. There's not been not one shit event.
Except for that one
I-
time, bloody what do you want to call it? It wasn't bad an event, but we got
won't
screwed.
talk about that, man. I spoke about this the other day. So pathetic. Yeah, there's not been
That
one
wasn't
bad
good.
There's not been one bad GFIN event from the get go. Yeah, just great events. There's not been one bad one, so everyone loves their events. Now to put a great show on, and they cater for the fans and the players. It's not just they don't choose one. I know a lot of event organizers do either the show or the players. They do both to a high standard, and it's just. I mean, it's all about keeping them right. We get them in here, but it's all about Activision keeping them around, and that's what Activision need to step up and keep the event organizers like Gfinity around. It's great having them for one every now and then, but it's what the scene needs. The scene needs these sort of event organizers and these sort of people in the space, especially next year when I don't even know if there's going to be open events. If there isn't, it's going to be limited events. Like you and easily one a year from Gfinity, and if it's not, then it's pathetic.
I'm just going to throw this out there, and it wasn't something I was going to talk about. But I would kind of like to see COD events in the Gfinity arena on a national level.
Oh mate, I've been saying this for I've been saying this for so long, man.
But we
last
all,
year,
we all
literally
know
last
why.
year. Last year, when they brought in the national circuits, you have the UK national circuit. I was literally screaming, "Why the are we not doing that at Gfinity in the arena? Like why? Like it's gonna be on LAN. They know how to put a good show on. People will buy tickets to go watch it. People will watch it online because it's on LAN.
I mean,
Personalities in
people
the UK team.
The AW seasons, like fuck me, they're gonna go
Oh my god, bro! Like the national circuits that I don't even know MLG or CWL, whatever they've been putting on. Just I don't get them. I don't get them. Like outside the Pro League, there's nothing. Hence one of the main reasons why I've had to retire. There's literally nothing outside the Pro League. Like that national circuit, if it was a European national circuit ran it by like a company like Gfinity, like it would be perfect, absolutely top notch, and the tools are there. But hopefully next year, if franchising does come in, and then you got the contender leagues and all that malarkey, hopefully it's all good signs for everyone. But
like, I mean. In a perfect world, we'd have every single game on LAN, wouldn't we? Like, let's be honest. Like, there wouldn't necessarily be anything important decided online, but we all know what it comes down to. It all comes down to money every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you just have to. We have. I know everyone would rather have everything on LAN, but at the same time, it's all just money. It's all just money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
which
about
we know
money,
that
and
they
want 40 mil for a spot. Fucking put some money into it.
That's unconfirmed by that. Like that's
It's still 25 mil minimum. Want that? Put some fucking money into it. Like have a fucking structure ready. Like start putting it into place, man. Like I won't stay on that.
To be fair, we don't know what is happening next year.
Exactly, it's the whole point of why it's so bad. Hiding everything. That's what they do every year. They hide everything from the people who matter the most. The players. The players are the one that plays. The players that put on the show. The players that actually play the game. And the players don't even know what's in store for them next year. Like say someone like me. Like I don't even know if there's. Like, I probably won't even play again. I don't even know if it's worth staying around. What is there next year?
I'm just going to facts like the Overwatch League. I'm just hoping there's going to be a contenders thing for me to work myself back up next year. I'm definitely going to compete next year, most likely. But like the only thing that we have to go off is Overwatch.
Yeah,
literally. So
hey, and the Overwatch League is doing great. Maybe we'll go to regionality.
Maybe we'll move to PC. And we're in the works.
Possible. It's very, very possible. Anyway,
Yeah,
we're getting way off topic here, by the way. This is going into next year. Franchising.
We still need that franchising episode at some point.
Yeah, we got to wait for a confirmation. That's what. Like a lot of it's just subjective at the moment. Let's talk about the actual event then, because we've had Rostermania. You know, it has been and gone, and we are back locked down, and a lot of shit happened in it that we have covered. But now we've got to talk about how we think these teams are going to perform. Let's start, because I do have them all here in front of me. Pool A, 100 Thieves, Optic, Enigma 6, and Team Reciprocity. Now, I've been hearing that 100 Thieves look fantastic at the moment.
Yeah, but this is what I was saying the other day, Bryce. I keep hearing this team's looking good, this team's looking good. Who's looking shit? I haven't heard obviously not trying to say we're shit, but every team I've seen that came out and people are saying they look good, that this posted on the stream that they look good, they've been winning scrims, they've been smoking people. Who's looking shit then? Because you must be smoking someone, right? So who's looking bad? Like, we're seeing all these players that are teams that are coming out saying, we smoked this team in scrims. Who's like, all I heard is LG got smoked. That's the only team I'm seeing that getting smoked. Everyone's smoking this team.
But do you not think it's a factor whenever like the UK events are on that typically UK teams play a little bit better? I don't know if this is just like a crowd thing, but typically some American teams
ever like one team.
Yeah. They tend to do a little bit better, but I'm interested to see if that's going to be a factor now, because obviously we used to attribute that to the fact that they weren't jet lagged, etc., and all the Americans are going to come over and they've got to adapt like the UK teams used to, but they're all literally all coming from America now, so it should be a level playing field on that.
I mean, the only team that are like going to be pretty much here is the Spanish team. Everyone else is coming from America, so there's only like one European team, right?
I think so. Yeah, that's a very good point.
Some teams have came early. I know, like Splice got here today. A few teams came today, like, but majority are coming from London. So, I mean, jet lag coming home actually is pretty bad.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
Going there is non-existent, but on the way back, it's.
I always get it the worst going out there.
Coming back.
Whenever I've been to the US.
Coming back absolutely shagged me for like a week.
Do you remember the other days where people said it wasn't a thing? It was like, no, it doesn't count. I mean, no, it's not real. It's not real. It's not real.
Well, Benson reckoned he'd conquer jet lag, but here we are.
That made me laugh so much. So if you have it on Twitter, Benson tweeted out that he's beaten jet lag. He was supposed to be on the show.
He said he perfected it. And just to point out, not to make Ben feel bad, I was supposed to be going to see Endgame tonight, but I cancelled my Endgame tickets for tonight. Well, I did not say cancelled, just didn't go. Rebooked them for last night, so I lost the money. And then he hasn't turned up.
You got played there.
My man owes me a couple of pints when we get there, and I'll be letting him know. Don't you worry.
Yeah. Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about the teams.
Sorry.
So Thieves, basically the hype around 100 Thieves is, apparently their team looks, but it's been looking better. People are hyping up, Priest has apparently made a big difference. And their group is not what I would call an easy group either. Optic Gaming are always going to have the green wall behind them. They're always going to have high expectations coming into this one. Reciprocity have looked better since their change. Dylan's come in and made a name for himself straight out of the gate. And to be honest with you, has lived up to the hype. And then in terms of Enigma 6, I feel like they're maybe a team that people aren't talking about as much, if that makes sense. Like, I know Diabolic just retired. I don't know. What do we think about this one? Because they've had a little bit of a change. Chino's gone.
I mean,
I think it'll be 100T and Optic in that group. I felt like Fort Worth was a bit of a blip for me. I thought there were a lot of games that kind of I wouldn't expect to see more times than not go in the favor of teams like Reciprocity. As good as they are, I don't expect it to be a regular thing. I don't see them overthrowing Optic again.
I just think that it's like there's so many teams that have changed, and what I will say about Rec, they made that run in first third, of course, but they didn't actually have that much time to practice with Dylan. Was it like a week or something by the time he got out there or something? It wasn't very long, if I remember
honeymoon
rightly.
periods are a factual thing, by the way, Tom.
I know.
No,
but
I generally think I think Rec will come out of that group. But
yeah, Rec will come out of the group. Bro, Tom's got too many fans to not do something that weekend. Like,
mate, he owes a lot of people a pint. That's all I'm gonna say.
Like Tom Tom's got too many titles at the event. Like, I don't
Mate,
know.
mate,
Like,
mate, the final, mate, that is going to be blowing the roof off.
there's gonna be someone in that group. I don't see him losing to both 100 Thieves and up to. It's not gonna happen.
So I want to throw something in here. If I remember Fort Worth correctly, and I didn't get to watch the main games as much as I would like because I was doing open, didn't Reciprocity have a lot of game fives?
Yeah, they
Like
won.
a lot of game
It
fives.
was like 7,
Yeah,
7.
like, and that concerns me.
They were
because-
doing a lot in the Pro
That
League
that
as
that,
well.
that doesn't concern me one bit. That's what shouldn't concern you.
But I mean, getting to that game five, like, you can't expect a repeat performance of going all the way to that game
cannot.
five again.
You
If they're
can.
good at S&D, it's fine.
Yeah, unless you're dog shit at one game mode, you can expect to go to game 5 a lot of the times. Like, as
I
long
just
as
feel
they're
it's risky.
comfortable in
I
all
just feel
game
it's
modes,
too
they
risky.
should make game 5 a lot. And if they have a high experience of winning game 5s, like some game 5s don't go your way in one weekend, sometimes they do. But if they
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not. It doesn't put me in a position where I can think, oh, this team should easily cruise these games because. Being perfectly honest, when you get to a game five, there is a lot of times where you can think it's a crapshoot. What Reciprocity did that weekend was not something that normally happens with teams that constantly go to game fives.
Yeah, but you have the experience in game 5s, boys. S&D, map 2, and map 5 are totally different things. If you've got experience of winning map 5s, I'd rather that than having no experience of winning game 5s.
Okay. I can see it. All right, let's talk about Enigma 6 because I said people are kind of overlooking them, but we sort of just did the same thing. Do we think it's a better team now or not?
Why is he in the team? Let me have a look.
Uh,
I actually
General
Godorex,
Reciprocity got-
Godorex and Jet Leave joined.
Certainly.
instead of Chino
I think
and
it's a better
Diabolic.
team. I don't
No,
think
yeah.
it's good enough.
Nah, Chino got rid of
the
Chino.
top guys.
Yeah, I thought Chino played. I actually thought Chino was quite good in that squad, and I didn't think he was going to be. But I think he looked alright.
Apparently he left, no?
Oh no, he did. Didn't he?
Apparently, but I don't know. Like, why would you leave? Like, unless
Yeah.
something really booky's happening. E6 is known to be a booky org. Let's put it out there. Like, they're known to be a bit booky. So I don't know. Like, did he leave? Because Chino's not that sort of person. Like, you gotta think he's probably the nicest guy in the fucking world. Like, for him to
That-
get up and leave, like, that's gotta take somewhat. Like,
That is an interesting point because good vibes in a team is something that is genuinely looked for. You know, I don't know how high you rank it, but everybody says, you know, Chino seems like the nicest guy in the world, and to leave, it's interesting. It's very interesting in how that team dynamic is going to go. But again, you know, if you're being perfectly honest about Enigma 6, where do you put them in this group?
They ain't got a chance.
I was coming to the same conclusion here.
I'll be happy if you took a map off 100 Thieves and Optic and rep. A map. You got rid of Chino, you an idiot. You're fucking spastic. Especially
So-
for a player that's never really fucking done anything cool, not fucking the greatest like God RX. Like, he isn't the greatest player of all time, like to replace someone
Yeah.
like Chino. And then
Uh,
Jet Li instead of who? Diabolic. Yeah, that's maybe
Yeah.
better, but how much can Jet Li really bring to the table? Like,
Mhm.
take out these teams.
I mean, they didn't. They looked good in groups at Fort Worth. That was the thing, and then they got double rounded, I think, or something, didn't they? At Fort Worth. I've got Fort Worth results up here. I was just working out
Didn't they
Rex games.
win a bracket one round? Win a bracket
Yeah,
round
well,
one.
they
got double
beat
rounded.
Rec and then they got double rounded. But speaking of Rec, out of the 10 games Rec played, 8 of them went to the final map.
I like that though, but it's like if they're not shooting well, they're not gonna get to map 5. But if they're not shooting well, they're not gonna do fucking anything anyway. So if they're not shooting well, if they're shooting well, at least they go to game 5, and we know they've got experience in game 5, so we can take that.
My hope is that what they've done, and I hope the Reciprocity camp have realised this, is looked at that and gone, right, how do we end this before we have to keep doing that? Like, where are our weaknesses? Because if you have
Yeah,
that,
but
right, if you have
they
a
probably
consistent-
weren't even up in half of these series to do that though. I guarantee they were relying on a hard point and an S&D win.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
this
Maybe
is
they
like
have
like-
to look at their control, maybe, and probably they come out slow in series.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah, well, you got to look at it, right? Because you cannot consistently go to game 5 without there being something in your playstyle that is causing it, and that is something you can actually fix in between events. Hopefully. Before we get sucked into this too much more, we have got 3 other groups. So very quickly, let's have a quick prediction of the top 2 teams coming out. Chris Trout, you're my top left, so let's jump you in. Who's coming out?
Pool B.
In Pool A. We're still on Pool A, mate.
Oh, I said 100 fees and optic. I
There
said
we go.
that.
Yeah, I was just recapping, buddy. 100 Thieves and Optic. Reedy.
Shit, I actually don't know. It's a tough one for me, man. I want to put Rec through. I'm gonna say Rec and Optic. I don't know about this 100 Thieves team. Is what it is, but we'll see.
I'm gonna agree with you here. Right now, I don't. I try not to buy into hype. I think Update Gaming. I don't know whether it's probably a blip, like Trout said, and I'm going to go with reciprocity because I want to be biased. So it can be. Madcat.
100 Thieves wreck. I think 100 Thieves slapped Optic in their last match.
Okay.
I doubt Optic are probably gonna do anything in this event. Honestly, in my honest opinion, I don't know. Someone's missing from that team. I'm not sure. 100 Thieves, if they've got better after their last performance with Priester, boy, I'd be scared if I play them. Fuck me. And Enigma 6, I just don't think they're matching really well against any of these teams.
Okay. A lot of the group agree. They think Optic Gaming not a big favorite coming out of this.
Yeah.
Some people thinking maybe Rec not as big as people kind of hype them up. Fit Tunn.
I'm thinking Rec and 100C. 100 Optic haven't looked good since Vegas, really. To be honest, have they? I don't think they have. So I based on what we've seen, you would say Rec and 100C, and I don't think, somebody might correct me. I know it's obviously different teams and everything, but historically, Optic as an organisation have never had a great time in the UK, apart from when they first started coming over. So I don't know.
Like Dashi not being there for the first part of the league is similar to what happened to us last year. You're not being there for the start of the league. It fucking hurt you a lot. Like it hurt you a lot because I don't even know what goes on. It just hurts you. Like it's pretty much like a replay in a game. It's just guaranteed to hurt you.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we can all agree on this one point that this is very much a tight group. I don't think the gaming team reciprocity could genuinely go any way, and you wouldn't be that surprised.
It was the same last time. Same at Fort Worth. It could have gone anyway.
Yeah. All right. Let's move into Pool B. Gen G, Splice, Luminosity, and the new Denial roster.
Fuck me, this is a bad boy group.
It's a meaty one.
It is as well, isn't it? I'm trying to figure out where to start. Let's go with Gen G. The Gen G. Let's start with Gen G. This team looked really good, in my opinion.
They are good. I just don't know where they go at tournament time. They're just not really tournament players. Like, let me go on the team just so I can recap. Like,
It's Major
I know
Maniac,
Havoc's in there. Like, Havoc isn't a
Mox,
big
and
tournament
Envoy.
player. Nagafen's he's done good at tournaments, but he's still like a quiet player. Like Morks, yeah, as
Morks
well.
is
Like none of these have really done good at like a big stage. So they're doing well in the league, and they're not doing anything at tournament times. There's got to be a reason behind this. They haven't got the extra push at a tournament. Tournament is a lot different than the league. It's all good at being in Columbus Studio, but when you were in
That place in Myth.
yeah, that place is a myth. Yeah, let's put it that way. It's a myth. Like it's a creature. It's a mythical creature. They just need to just have the extra push at tournament time. Clearly, they don't know how to pump themselves up. Maybe they're just like a dual, well-rounded team that just like being in their own little bubble in the studios. But if they can find their tournament gas, they can do so fucking much. It's just getting that extra push.
So Gen G in Pro League, when they first started off, their S&D was like flawless. In Fort Worth, after the change of Envoy coming in, they were 3-5 in S&D.
Yeah, but you also got to remember a lot of VOD review goes down, and teams are actually doing it. And
that's what I'm saying. Is like people are, they're starting to figure out what they're doing.
Let's put it out there. Spacey wasn't really their fucking S&D warlord. Like, fuck me, like you know what I mean. You could just about you rely on him to shoot his gun straight on, rely on him to bring your S&D mastermind. Well, obviously he might have done something with the communication side of things, but I mean, come on, man. Like, surely they know how to play S&D. They went like 9-0 or whatever you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, they know how to just bring one player in and just fit him right in there. Like,
it's difficult with Envoy coming in as well because you would argue that he improves the hard point. They were 9-2 in hard point in Fort Worth.
Their respawn is unmatched.
Yeah,
if they can get their S&D, it's a wrap. Like, they can go.
It's just putting it all together, though, isn't it? Like, you think maybe with they've had. I think it like I know again. You were saying that honeymoon periods are a thing, but I think for Envoy he was there less amount of time than Dylan was in the rec team. If I remember rightly, I think they got like maybe a couple of days practice in with him before Fort Worth. So I don't know how much to read into that. Maybe things can get better. They're a hard team to read. I think. To be honest,
it's a hard one. They're a solid team. But tournament time, I don't know.
They could finish top 2. They could finish top 12. Yeah, it's tough.
What do we think about Splice?
Fucking mint.
Uh,
I mean, we are
Love
talking.
them.
We
I don't
are
know.
talking.
I
Missing out on a
honestly,
chip, and they.
I don't know. Honestly, I feel like Splice would win a chip if they got rid of Marky B. Don't ask me why. I just have that feeling.
yeah, he was pretty much a Silver Surfer. Like he didn't really win many like players. No, but Splice, I don't know because there was rumors that certain people were supposed to get dropped. Some people trying to get other people dropped. I don't know where they sit on that, but they are some sort of players that have been through that. They know how to just push that off on the side. But this team here, you need more from fucking accuracy, and you need Aqua to have a good weekend. You get more from them too. If them two have a good weekend, it's a wrap. But it's like one's probably gonna guarantee to have a bad weekend. One of them play good, one play bad. I don't even know. I think Aqua brings more than accuracy. If Aqua plays good, they can go far. But I don't know.
I don't think this team's ever going to have too bad of an event. I just think
Gotta
like
be consistent.
Temp and Jerd are just always going to give you a good middle ground to base your team off, like pressure wise. So you're never going to have even if they have one of those two has a bad game, the other one is going to do bits. So you're never going to expect them to absolutely shit the bed. I don't know, because I heard the same things. And here's the thing, right? When a team comes second, you still don't really expect them to make a change. But at the same time, when you go third to second, you were kind of hoping you would have won either of those two tournaments. How far can you go? What needs to change? Because clearly players are not going to be happy with the second, no matter how much prize money it is. So I don't know, if they just couldn't fit. My theory is that they couldn't find somebody good enough to replace anybody, a reasonable budget.
I mean, it sort of tells us that they're super serious about, making sure they win events. They're not quite happy to sit there, finishing second, third, whatever. So, I can't remember what the rumors were, who they were got coming in. I mean, I know. I mean, we can talk about it because the rumors were all over Reddit. I think it was accuracy, wasn't it? A lot of people.
I heard that. The only two players that didn't get speculated to get dropped was Looney and Temp. The other three were speculated to get dropped at one point or another.
But if they're dropping those three with the placements that they've had, they are making.
It wasn't all three
moves.
of them. It was just one of them.
Yeah, but considering their placements, whatever was going to happen, it was never going to be just bring somebody in who did well in the amateur circuit. You know what I mean?
Obviously
it was going to be a big
this
move.
team is always going to give you a consistent. For the rest of the year, you will get consistent placements out of Splice.
100%.
The fact that they are consistent players. To a degree, you got some that are really consistent, some are not so consistent. But the ones that you need to be consistent are there. But it's just the other ones that are inconsistent. You need the extra push and a proper, very good event from to win it.
Yeah. All right. Let's put a pin in Splice. More teams to go. Luminosity, the current champions.
I heard they've been getting panned. I heard they've been trolling in scrims.
Well,
what are they
the thing,
using? Yeah, that's actually a question. What have they been using?
I mean, the Rampart as well. Let's put it out there. Classic went from an absolute double cheeseburger to.
No, we love Nicky Dido, man.
Yeah, we love Nick, but he can take this. If he's watching, he can take this on the chin. He went from a double cheeseburger to I don't even know, what's that burger place in France?
Big Fernand.
Big Fernand. He went from a double cheeseburger in Mackey's to a Big Fernand burger, and that's a big difference. It's a massive difference. So.
Such an obscure reference.
Those burgers are
man's a double
unreal.
I'd go to that burger restaurant to know the difference.
Well, let's put it here. Formal, always going to bring out a bad boy performance. Gunless, even better.
What burger would you
Well,
what would you compare them to? Five Guys.
You need consistent classic, and you need John to step up. We haven't seen the second half of the season John yet. You get that at John, and he starts performing.
Oh, I just realized something. We get to talk about Envy, bro. Oh dear.
We do.
Oh dear.
We do.
Yeah, way ahead.
We should move on from Luminosity because I said I do want to get through all of this. Denial. Then let's talk about the.
It's gonna be a honeymoon. They're gonna have a honeymoon tournament.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, not in the group. This group's too hard to have a honeymoon period in, but in the bracket they will.
Yeah, it is. This is if you're a brand new team coming up, this is not where you want to.
You want like Paul
And-
D, bro. You know,
Like it's insane. For me, it was always curious about the Red Reserve thing because that team was basically falling on good vibes, and then it basically turned into just throwing shit at each other. And that's not all fully their fault. There was the extenuating circumstances of the Red Reserve management basically being terrible fucking people. But I don't know. Because right now I don't know how to put this team because
you need Black Ops 3 Ben. He's had like one.
this is a big chance.
He's had like one, like his Black Ops 3 performance. He's had like one of them since then. He's got it in him.
Birmingham won it.
I don't know. I don't know how you get out of him. I
Do
know.
you
I
think
always
his role
thought
swap maybe helps? Because I think Reese was saying he's SMG in now.
maybe if he feels comfortable in the role, you'll get a very good event out of him. Maybe at home as well. He's got his family there. Like Ben always plays good when either Splice management was there or his family was there. And I know his family are going to be at the event, so he's going to be happy, blowing the vibe. So I think Ben's going to have a really good event, especially with them sort of circumstances.
Big event for Vance as well.
Huge
Big
man.
event.
The group,
Do well
the
here.
group doesn't help them though. This is where we need to put like, if they go Norton 3 in this group, you're not going to sit and say fuck like, but they do need to make a losers run.
Well, the thing is, 1, 2, and 3 in this group, Genji, Splice, and LG, could very much be, like top 3, top 4 in this tournament, and you
That's
wouldn't
what I'm
even be that worried about it. It is horrible, but I agree. Ben Bance needs a big event here. People are very curious about exactly how this team is going to come together. Like, there's no Trey, there's no Scraps anymore. You've basically replaced him with Alex and Brack.
Yeah, but that's very.
I mean,
that's a
Alex
decent-
is.
That's a good replacement. Like
Alex is. If anyone's going
wise.
to replace Scraps, in my eyes, Alex is up there to replace him.
respawn wise, they probably got a little, maybe the same or a little bit better. But you gotta think the vibes, like, bro. You have players coming on Twitter after losses, bro. Do you know what I'd do to a player if he was taking the piss out of me after games? He would not be walking after the game. Like that's the sort of anger that it'll put someone like me in. And I know you've got people like Joe, Reese that don't like that sort of shit, and it even got to a point where Reese was doing it. So
Yeah.
when people are putting that on Twitter after games, bro, no one's
dead.
performing after this.
Yeah.
None of your teammates are ever gonna perform again. Let's put that out there. They don't feel comfortable around you anymore. They don't really like you anymore. They think you're a rat, pretty much. That's what the sort of vibes are. But if my teammate tweeted saying after the loss saying, pretty much he got costed, we wouldn't be a team for much longer. And that's pretty much what happened. It just got prolonged because of Rostermania and whatnot.
I don't think the whole thing that happened with Red helped. We were saying last week, and Trey was sort of like, I don't think it was an issue. We disagreed with him completely. We said,
Oh yeah, I
surely,
disagree.
surely.
Last year we went for a stage with Splicer not being paid for 4 months, and we were pissed off highly. Like we wanted to, like we was
It
thinking
doesn't
about
help.
leaving, and like just not coming online and being happy. Like it just doesn't. It's not a good thing to have. Like it definitely does play a part in the movement. Yeah. Especially when they're living in Vegas, not even at home. Like
Yeah, and especially when they don't cook for themselves and they order food every single night. I genuinely think they spent 20 grand. in
Don't start
takeaways
because
over
we'll
the
be here
past
for
3
2
months.
hours. Bricey won't stop talking about it. Don't start.
It's absolutely mental. But so that obviously didn't help. Like obviously it's like the whole Red thing, like Matty going on Twitter, like I love Matt to pieces. I think he's a great guy.
oh yeah, but this is not a
The
good-
way he handled that whole situation where he wanted to leave and he wanted to go to FaZe and going on Twitter and wrote like saying what more could I do, and then like I know for a fact Reese would probably wanted to fucking go kick his door down. I know Joe would not have been happy. Joe probably was through with him, and then that's weird. Like people won't like to hear that. Like
yeah,
Joe was probably fucking done with the kid.
the group of people like that was in the team wasn't the best people to do that to. Like Ben's emotional, Joe would just cut you out, and Reese would just get angry, and I don't even know what I don't know.
So
Trey
like
regrets
that didn't help them as a team. And then as soon as they lost to Rec as well, like losing to Rec, that team was done for. Like I was literally at the table with Taylor and a mum because her mum follows COD because when I used to play and stuff, and I went to her literally. If Red lose this game, someone's getting dropped, or this team is fucking done. They lost the game. 2 hours later, Bance tweets out free agent.
Yeah. I actually we haven't
It was
spoken
just a
about him,
crack.
but I actually really like the addition of Brack. I think I think he's been really good. He's been one of the standout new players this year, and I think he'll look good in this squad. Him and Reedy seem to be like necking on with each other basically at this point, which is always good to see if you've got the vibes flowing, etc. So yeah, I think you're very right though, Dylan, that this groups can be hard for them. My only issue is, do they take too much hardship from that if they don't do well in groups?
I don't think they will.
Hopefully not.
I think they honestly know how hard this group is, and if anything, going to lose bracket will probably help them. They get to play with people that are not as good as the people in their group. They've just played the hard teams. Let's get the easy teams out of the way. And I think unless they fucking bomb out round one of losers, they'll make a losers run and get to a place which kind of suits how good they are the weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I also think a big part of it is how Brack and Alex's mental will be with Reese. Because if, say, for example, they go Norton 3, I know for a fact Reese is going to be on social media saying he wants to put his head for a wall. Some people will take that quite literally, like he's given up, but Reese hasn't given up.
It
just depends on how their mental is towards that as well. Like, hopefully they realize if they do go 0-3 or 1-3 and Reese is tweeting out some bullshit.
But if you're real about how good you are, like you should realize how good these teams are, that you can go Norton 3. So if I'd be telling these, if you went Norton 3, if I was like Reese or Joe, I'd be saying, look, we could go Norton 3 here. This shouldn't be a shock. It shouldn't be a shock. Like, this is exactly what happened when we lost the Heretics and the groups at LCQ, and my whole team was shocked. I said, this isn't a shock. Like, you was like real about how good we are and how good they are, because we know how good they are. We play them every day. We know how sick they are. It shouldn't come to a shock that we lost against them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just about being real. That's where people get thrown off a bit when they're not real about how good the other team are.
It was the persona of Heretics at the beginning of the year, where it was like, in previous years it always been like, the Spanish are shit, but now they got really good, didn't they?
Every year when you scrim someone every day, you know how good they are.
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of people
they should know that this group is really fucking hard, and if they do go Norton 3, it's not the end of the world. They have a life in the losers where they will 100%. Face off against teams that are not as good as any of them teams in the group.
All right, let's put a pin in that there, because still more groups to go. Quick predictions then. Let's start with Chris Trout. I know you were a bit quiet during that one, buddy. I don't know you need to go to the toilet, so we'll get your prediction and then you can...
Well, I was just listening to all the inside scoop from these guys. These guys are the experts, so that's why I wasn't saying anything. And I'm just here for the ride, really. I'm going to go with Splice and Luminosity. I think that it's probably best to go with the safe options. Lots of experience between the two squads, and they had fantastic tournaments last time out. I don't expect that to really change this time round.
No, seems about right. Reedy.
Use the group again.
Luminosity in denial.
Pay attention.
Genji, LG, Splice, and Denial.
Yeah.
I'm putting Splice and Denial through, man.
Wow. All right, Madcat.
Splice and Genji.
Okay, I'm going to go Splice LG because I think that's probably the kind of safe route. Tunn?
Splice LG. It was finals in Fort Worth. I don't think LG can suddenly turn that bad again. Surely not.
Yeah, but that bad, like losing to Genji, is not bad.
No, absolutely not.
No, I agree.
Absolutely not. No, you are right in that respect. But like about the whole crack about how they haven't been going well in scrims, etc. I don't think it'll be that bad. But yeah, this one it is tough to call. I'm going to go Splice LG, but it could be Splice Genji very much.
Cool. Let's move on to Pool C. I know there's at least one team in here that some people want to talk about. A United, FaZe Clan, Team Envy, and Evil Geniuses. Reedy, you seemed kind of eager to talk about Team Envious. Would you like to jump straight in?
I need to get the insight of why you want to talk about this.
No, all right. So, who have they replaced App with and Assault with?
Oh, damn! Why do we want to speak about these?
Yeah, Desi and who?
Pharaoh.
Okay, right. All right. Desi, I understand, yeah. The App.
Yeah.
Two-time world champion, always gets better halfway through the year, turns into an absolute fucking unit. Yet you have kept someone like Aches on the team, who's had War Machine for the whole year and been fucking shit. There's literally there's no other way to put it. He's literally been awful, and he's had War Machine. So in my eyes, that makes no fucking sense. App's literally been running Crash. I'm pretty sure he was Crash, wasn't he?
I think so, yeah.
He literally been running Crash
With a sword.
with a Sork,
Probably an AR
baiting
maps.
for players like Aches. Like, yeah, they won champs last year, which I still don't understand how they fucking done that. But fucking
think
Assault
anybody
and
does,
App,
really.
like whatever. But fucking like, it makes no sense. And then Aches has gone to main AR instead of Assault. Like, what? How is this man like?
I need to. I
I'm
need to
out of
have
a job
head-
by now. Like, I don't understand it. Like, App, I don't get one fucking bit. I really don't. Like, he's every year he's got better in the second part of the year. Like, you should have got rid of him at the start.
It's like
You know
getting rid
what?
of
You know
John.
what? You know what you're gonna get with App at the second part of the year. He on fucking Black Ops 3 2. No, 3, sorry. When he won champs. Motherfucker didn't even qualify for the league.
Yep.
Literally didn't even qualify for the league. He got reverse swept when he was in that Liquid team. Got picked up by MV. Fucking smoked everyone. Last year,
they didn't make one playoffs last year.
literally, I reverse swept him to get him out the league. I put him into relegation last year. Then he turns into an absolute unit and then drags Aches to a champs win. And then like this year, stuff's not going well for him again. Yeah, I don't get it, bro. I really don't. But my man had War Machine for the whole year, and he's just been shit anyway. So it is what it is.
Well, we all know that you're completely unbiased coming to Aches anyway.
No, I honestly don't have an issue. I don't have an issue with him anymore. Like, it is what it is. It's in the past. Like, I beat him 3 times. He's beat me 3 times, 4 times. I don't really care anymore. Like, that shit's done and dusted. I'm not fucking relevant anymore in the grand scheme of things. He's accomplished more than me, whatever. But I just generally think he's a shit player. It is what it is. Like, when I'm playing against him, I have all confidence in the world to beat him. Like, and ever since he talked shit, my record against him has been fucking through the roof. Like, I beat him last year with that Epsilon team. Like, literally, that Epsilon team was dead and buried, and I still, like, I mean, yeah, Dave went mad last map and fucking smoked him, but we still reverse swept him, put him into fucking relegation. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah,
So I can't talk shit on that aspect, but it is like, it's just annoying how App's been dropped from that team. Like, I'm not sitting there saying.
Aches aside, the thing that I think was nailed, and I will admit, Reedy ranting and Madcat sound effects in the background may be one of my most favourite things that I didn't know I ever needed.
It was facts, bro. You couldn't say it any better, bro. Like, you don't drop Apathy, and let's not get twisted. He got better, like, just before they dropped him. So he was coming to his form. And let's put it twisted. What they're thinking right now is, we can keep Aches. We'll put him as main AR. Main AR is not really a big role in this game. But if your main AR is literally shite, you will feel it. Like, if he literally is getting shot on, you will feel it. It's not like you keep Assault. You have an AR that knows what he's doing. I mean, I don't even know what Aches brings as a leader. I mean, he clearly knows what he's talking about, but how much does it really mean anything in the grand scheme of things? If he's literally not doing a role for a decent standard.
I think the main concern is I agree. I have full faith in Apathy most. I think the guy has just ridiculous. And you are right. I don't know why he has this particular trait of getting better as the year goes on. I have a theory that it's because the usual Call of Duty meta gets faster as the game goes on, and then once that pace picks up, he thrives. He thrives at fast. He is a speed player. And when you go into the last 6 months of a game, those are the players you need, and those are the players that
Normally he gets better teammates towards the end as well, like a little bit better. Like last year he had Nameless at the start. Like, hello. like hello.
He had Nameless, and then what they got, him and fucking Aches stayed as a 2, and then got Silly and App, like
yeah.
no, wait, Silly and Assault.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, the Desi pickup with Hugh is going to be massive.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why they just get rid of Aches or Desi and then keep the team it is. Silly's been fucking on fire.
Yeah, Silly's been good.
Hugh's literally been one of my favorite players to watch this year. I think he's unbelievable.
Yeah, Silly's just been good as just a little bit notch down from Hugh, but he's been naughty this year.
Yeah.
And let's not get it twisted. Even his spot was up for grabs over Aches. He was more likely gone than Aches, and if that's happening, we need to talk to management. We need to have a chat with management. Like,
See, at this stage here, this is another thing going back to the coaches. Like, Bevel's like, he's a fucking sick coach. Like, don't get me wrong, but why the fuck has he not had more say in this? Because
there
this
was
has
a
got to be one of the
whole-
most baffling things
There
that's
was the
ever
whole
happened with a
rumor.
COD team.
There was the whole rumor on
Yeah, he
Reddit
was
that
supposed to go to
it was all down to Hook and shit like this, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
You
I
know,
don't know
I-
how true that is, but I mean, if they're giving the control to him, it wouldn't surprise me. They want to keep. They want him as their scump, so to speak. So it wouldn't shock me. But is he the one making the decisions? Who fucking knows?
No,
But,
no. If
mean, he's
Fuchs
got a
made
big
the
say.
decision like that, yeah, no, he's definitely got a massive say.
Yeah,
But
He's their franchise player.
yeah, without a doubt, like he can play any fucking FPS you put the kid on. But fucking he's been manipulated somewhere along the line. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh, we all know
Yeah.
Ace is a swindler.
He's definitely been manipulated.
we've
There's
skirted
there's no
over.
way.
We skirted over Ferro pickup a little bit there.
Oh yeah, that's just is what it is. Like, you've got rid of App, you need to replace him. Like, it is what it is. Like, well, we just can't get over the fact they dropped App.
let's move on because there are 3 other teams in this group. Let's start in with FaZe Clan because it is the return of FaZe Clan to the pro scene. Got some home players in there. Trout, I know you've been kind of letting these two go at it for a bit. Do you want to jump in with FaZe and their new roster? It's an interesting one.
It's a tough one, I think.
Gave him the hardest one to say.
Yeah,
I think it could be
it's Sim and fucking
a,
CD.
a great team, or it could fall apart very quickly. It depends how they all gel together, and I don't think there's been that many opportunities for them to get together and have proper practice apart from online. And
Yeah.
at big tournaments like this, it's very difficult to really put everything you've got going, especially in the format that we have, where it's just a round robin against 3 other teams. You go into it, you could have a really bad start, and all of a sudden, your back's against the wall before you've even really got to the knockout stages of the tournament. And I think we saw a few teams at Fort Worth that kind of suffered that fate. I think with Scraps and Zero being on home turf, that's really going to play to their strengths. I think there's a lot of FaZe fans over in the UK as well and in Europe that are going to big them up. They're going to obviously have that honeymoon period, and that could go one of 2 ways. I think it'll probably be a positive one for this team, unlike the Denial squad. I think the other 2 will have more to say on them, all these 5 guys individually, and how they get on compared to myself.
I agree with Trout. Every part. It's just how Trey and Matt can bring them. They were 3 together. They're on home soil. They've got people backing them. It's how they bring it together and work as a unit. Obviously, we don't know how scrims are going, but we can only guess positive things. But it's how they come together as a team. You need someone out there to really bring everyone together at a tournament, because it is coming together and working as a unit and really having a good relationship together. Having a good relationship at a tournament like this, you need it. Without it, they're gonna flop. And
Oh man, they've got serious vibes on that team though. Fucking
I mean, vibes, but
Tommy
like,
and Scraps on there, so everyone will be chill.
Clearly you're their best friend, so you must know. But
no,
I mean, vibes like
They're only going to take you so far.
yeah,
They're not going to win you a chip.
like laughing and that and making jokes, but like being together, like they're just gonna walk off and leave them to do what they're doing. Like,
It's all good vibes till you lose. It's all good vibes till you lose.
yeah,
It's
like
just
who on that team's grabbing everyone together and saying, "Oi,
no, that's
what the fuck's going down? Like, we need to be doing this, we need to be doing that." Like, or
Are
is
they
everyone
all
gonna
gonna
walk
listen
off?
Are they all gonna listen to Zuma?
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
and then they've got to deal with that fucking FaZe Ben guy, bro.
yeah, like you gotta deal with FaZe, man. Fuck that shit, man. That's a burden in itself.
What I will say is that I think Celium was easily the best player in the open bracket.
He was nuts. He's
He's very good.
It wasn't fucking hard though. Let's put it out
Well,
there.
no, I know, but still,
It's a fucking major step.
it is a big
Yeah,
step.
it is a step, but I think if you can shine like that and then come, it at least puts you in somewhat good stead.
Oh yeah, that obviously he's a beast. But based off open bracket, he's pretty poor.
I don't know. I think
every player that won the open brackets now in the pro league. It's such a great stepping stone for players to make their mark.
Yeah.
I honestly can't tell if he was serious then or
Yeah,
not.
he
I
was.
was being so sarcastic.
Yeah,
You can't even. Yeah.
All right, okay, maybe
I
not
like
like
the
maybe let's not talk about that one, right?
It just relies on how they come together, this phase
Yeah.
team.
But-
Especially overseas. You know,
Well-
there's more team that are coming over than is home, and I'm guessing them two are gonna have their families there. They just leave their families to themselves and focus on the team because that's what they should be doing. Like they got 3 players that way from home, young players as well. How do they react? Like
Yeah.
they need to be babied. Let's put it that way. Like they need to be
Yeah.
fed.
They've been
because-
thrown in the deep end, really, haven't they?
Yeah,
It's
like
first
London,
event,
Westfield.
base
Like, are they
clan,
gonna really go into
yeah.
Westfield and get some food? Probably not. So they need to probably feed them as well. So,
Let's move on.
fucking
We've got two more
walk
teams.
through Westfield and get all the fucking London YouTubers asking
No
questions.
outside
We got two
food.
more. We
No
got two
outside
more
food
teams.
allowed. Sorry, no outside food allowed. You're gonna have to go to the in-venue catering.
United. Arceus, Prestini, Clayster, Abizi, and Simp. What do we think?
Just a United, isn't it? It's always going to be United.
United never gonna win, but they're always gonna do good. Or they're average or shit.
What?
They're never gonna win.
Oh,
Brother.
shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to take United. Like Arceus is probably one of the best players in the world. Probably should be on a better team. I don't know.
I think his twins holding him back.
They need to do something because he's too good to not have another chip. Like he's too good. He's like one of the only ARs you can sit there and say would outgun me. Like most of the time. Like he's too good. He's too good to not have a chip, and I don't know what the fuck's going on. And then I was hearing that apparently Clay has been playing for himself since he last won a tournament. So
Well, I mean, Fort
Boy.
Worth did not go well for them.
I mean, where did they place it for Worth? Last? Top 12?
No, mate, they made top 12.
Wait,
They
so
have-
hold on.
they
Did,
have
so
since
you
made
see
the
Fort
change of
Worth
Simp
was
in.
Oh yeah, Simp joined after Fort Worth, right?
Yeah.
I mean, after that, they did look good at Pro League after they got Simpin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Columbus is a myth.
No, I know. I know you're
No,
gonna
I
say
don't think
that.
you quite fucking understand.
No, I knew you were
Columbus.
going to say that. I knew you were going to say that, but it's still you got to take some.
I'm gonna put him on a
Thing
top
from
eight team in this event. Probably
I
top
won
8.
3 series and 30 at Columbus.
Damn.
Columbus is a myth.
All right, let's put them top 8. Let's move on to our last team, Evil Geniuses. We'll try to rein this back into some
that team?
semblance. Exotic
I think
Attach,
it's gonna
Apathy,
be a
Shake,
change a lot.
Phantoms.
I think this
Put him in
team
the
is
bin.
gonna surprise people.
Put him in the
In
bin.
my opinion.
Put him in the fucking bin.
Wait, I don't even know what the team is.
You were just saying about.
I know App's in
Exotic,
there.
Attach, Apathy, JCap, and Phantoms.
Put him in the bin.
I mean, App's gonna have to do some serious pulling.
But like, this is what I'm saying. Exotic has been playing good, fair enough. Attach been playing good, fair enough. He just dropped the whole team, so he needs to be playing way better if he just dropped the whole team. Apathy, he's probably going to be a beast. JCap, has JCap been positive? When was the last time JCap had a positive KD at an event? And this is Black Ops 4. Like, I know KD is not really the biggest thing, but this is Black Ops 4 where
Trading's
he's
big,
everything.
massive.
And then Phantoms, like, I'm not
He's
sure.
just called
I'm-
Tim. He just pulled out of the open bracket. Let's go.
Tim from the open bracket. Yo. It's Tim from the open bracket, so I don't fucking know.
He was that other. He was
And JCap's gone from like a mania now, like he's probably just gonna be stiff as fuck at the back of the map. Like I don't know, man. Like the front line have got some fucking work on their hands here.
I think it's going to be a surprise. I think a lot of the players on that squad have had a difficult start to the year, and I think this might be the time where it all clicks for them. They start to go on a
It's
bit of
gonna
a
be-
spree. It could make or break them.
I do
it's-
like that. I do like that side of an opinion. Like it could like the
It's gonna go one way or the other, isn't it? It's either gonna go really well or really shit.
Yeah, they are the scraps pretty much. They pretty much are the scraps of the scene. So yeah, that's how the scraps of the scene normally go. Shit or absolutely beasts. So, well, I think they'll. I don't know. Depends how this. I've got to put it on JCap and Phantoms. You need a tournament out of them. The other 3 are going to provide something to a good degree. It's JCap and Phantoms, in my opinion. Phantoms I don't even know. I think I'm
Tim
playing
from the open bracket.
From
Face
the
to
open
Yeah, it was in
bracket.
phase, yeah.
And JCap has a massive question mark on him. This might be JCap's biggest tournament of his career.
My only concern with really backing them is I'm not sure who they're going to outplace between FaZe and E United.
It's a tough group. It's a relatively tough group.
Well, let's get the predictions then.
What's the group again?
What a segue!
Yeah. Let's get it in. E United, FaZe Clan, Team Envy, and Evil Geniuses. Pool C for CWL London. Trout, kick it off, baby.
I want to put Evil Genius in there just because I think that
Oof.
I'm gonna back them to go for that event that goes the positive way.
He's
rather
about
than
to
the
rip off
catastrophic.
his top and there's an EG tattoo across his chest.
Put a
there.
spanner in the works.
And something tells me FaZe will probably edge them out, but the other team, if I was going to go for Evil Genius, would be probably E United. They're my top two: Evil
All right.
Genius and E United.
Reedy?
Even though I just like badmouth aches of Bear Long, I generally think FaZe Envy because Desi is a freak, Uke's a freak, City's a freak, and yeah, I just feel like them three there will be able to do more than the other teams in the other teams that are in the pool. They'll definitely do better. Just them three alone will do better than that EG team. And then could you imagine if you had App with them three? Jesus H. And then E United, I just don't know what to think of them, to be honest with you. Really don't.
Okay. All right. Dill?
FaZe, Envy.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go FaZe Envy as well.
For what it's worth, I would go the same.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think you're right when we nailed it about the United team being middle of the pack. And I feel like FaZe Clan, this team, if it has the combination of players that you could see doing well, the big question mark about them is whether or not that is, first of all, true, and second of all, if they've had enough time to make it so. But I'm going to be positive on their behalf and pick them as well. All right, let's move on to Pool D. Midnight Esports, Team Heretics, URU, and Elevate. How is this pool, by the way?
Oh, it's a horrible
What is
pool.
this pool?
It's a bad pool. It's
This pool, yeah, is a sort of pool you get to win a tournament. So I'm gonna have to just say Heretics are going far in this tournament at this point. Like,
But Heretics, after Pro League, after initially it looked class.
yeah, they fucking changed their roles.
Yeah.
Like they had this fucking methods in every corner begging it, and then they changed him. Or what was the role change? Was it him to a Sorg or him to an AR?
Him to
Him to a Sorg.
That was the role change.
Yep.
No, well, they don't. No. He went back to an AR because he was a Sorg
Yeah,
at PLQ.
Him.
I
as-
remember coming online to scrim one day and
AR.
fucking Methods was laying in the corner with a Sorg and I
Yeah,
lost my mind.
him as an Sorg was doing way better than him as an AR. With a Sorg, I kept seeing him in every corner, sitting in every corner, catching teams off guard. And an AR, as an AR, he was just sitting back of the map, just sitting there praying like an absolute slug. So I think they've changed that back. I think you're gonna see him back in form. I don't think they'll ever get back to their first form at the start of the league. Whoever made that change to role swap is the fucking idiot, by the way, and deserves to be back.
That's somebody like just
You've
thinking
just
they can do
seen
better.
the only Spanish team to ever compete internationally ever in the history of Call of Duty. And let's put it out there, not internationally, domestically. There has never been a Spanish team that would be able to compete domestically on a level. This team just competed internationally and proved they're one of the best. And
Yeah, they were
your role change, you fucking
shooting
idiot.
teams as well.
Whoever done that change, sack him. If it's that legend, sack him. If it's one of the players, sack him.
No, don't say the players. That'd be another role change.
I might as well at this point. You've already fucked it up.
I agree with that. I think that team, it played at the speed of light. It was such a fast team and it was working, and then they screwed it up. But I still think they can do well in this group. Let's talk about Midnight.
Don't even know who Midnight's team. Oh, wait,
Midnight are the
Parasite's
team that's
isn't it?
always late, bro. They're always late.
Currently, Lamb of God, Saints, Blast, Lacefield, and Parasite.
But it's not going to be Saints. It's going to be
Yeah,
Knight
it's not
instead.
It's
Oh,
nice.
wait, still not Saints. You
No,
sort that out.
Hell.
He
Jesus.
still can't leave the country. I'm still an immigrant. But
Anyway.
I mean, I'm just gonna I don't really want to say on this because I was speaking to the management about playing at this event, so I'll be a bit biased. But overall, gonna get shot on.
Why are you not
Yeah,
there?
it's, no, honestly, no. Honestly, that Midnight team is literally a friendship team because the fact that they brought that Giorgio Knight guy from UIU, who is absolutely
Hold on.
awful, but my ad.
Jojo Knight.
I don't even know who he is.
Well, everyone
in
should be
the
called
league, like, that's how
Gorgon.
bad he is. I've watched.
How Gorgo Knight?
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
Right,
Jojo
awful
Knight.
player. I mean, I smoked him twice this year, so says it already.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't understand why Dill's not playing.
Like they could have got a
a
lot of better players than him to play, but Parasite just wants to bring his friend to London, so they're just there for the free ride. I mean, they've not even been turning up to scrim, so that says it all.
Yeah, where did they finish in their pool again? Let's have a look.
Man,
It was
they're
a
a
rock
decent-
bottom. They
they're
didn't
a
have it.
Dude,
Oh,
they
oh,
didn't get
probably-
Fort Worth. Their Fort Worth was shocking, didn't they?
Yeah,
Only
it
went
was
to-
Yeah,
really
but
bad.
they did get better in the league though.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
did.
did.
They started doing.
But I
some
still
work.
think they're gonna get shit on.
Right,
But the
let's-
thing is, with this pool though, is that the rest of the teams in there, like, I mean, they could have a worse group. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, wait, hold on. Yeah, they're actually
They have
denial,
been
wasn't
really blessed by the group. Really, 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 really
it? Not
blessed.
denial.
Yeah.
Elevate.
Yeah.
man's just scrimming from France.
Yeah, do we even need to touch on that team? Do we
Yeah, let's quickly touch on Elevate. This
Right,
We're not touching on it. It doesn't need to be touched on. Shat on. Literally shat on.
Just, I don't understand why they haven't just taken that whole denial squad that was
And
there.
made it American.
And then
Or
why
either have the whole French team.
yeah, don't amalgamate. It never works. It never, never, never.
Nah,
ever,
do you know what
ever,
it would have
ever
been?
works.
Do you know what it would have been? Because the denial guy is good friends with Elevate or Brandon, right? And the denial guy probably felt bad for Whalers and Brezzy, and he probably asked Brandon for a favor. Come next roster change, they ain't gonna be in the league. I literally sent Mark a DM before the first roster change, and I fucking called that they were gonna get fucking all of them were gonna get dropped.
I felt bad for them because they were getting better as well. And
Yeah, but it's not fucking good enough. But they earn the
no,
spot.
I know.
This is what I'm saying. They earn that fucking spot. Let's not put it twisted. They fucking earn that spot. But the way it is that they really don't have that spot, but they earned it.
They
So
also fucked up signing with denial.
Yeah.
I would never have signed
But
if I was French and I
But
qualify for that
Neo-
league. Oh, I don't care, bro. I wouldn't have went under an org. I'm being deadly serious.
But I would
Oh, yeah.
have signed with Neo on a free basis because at this point you need longevity over short term. So I would have signed with Neo for like 200 fucking
Well,
euros at this point.
vitality.
Yeah,
if I would, yeah.
and literally put it out there that were for sale, but and then got a deal that kept them in that team, guaranteed for the rest of the year, and not have
Yeah.
to sign quickly because the league you had to walk in there with an org, and you had a week to do it.
I'm deadly serious. I would have signed with Neo, and if it was 500 euros, 1,000 euros,
I would have took it because I know
I would
they
have
were gonna
took it
guarantee
because I know for a fact I'm not getting dropped for another country, another team in a different country. Neo's gonna say what true to his word, and then when next year, if franchising comes in, Vitality is a fucking massive brand, huge. Could you imagine if Vitality was at London event? I guarantee they'll be bringing French fans over, 100%.
Probably get a bus or something. Yeah, just get them straight
Yeah,
over.
but then
Literally,
you're just not
they-
relevant towards the end of the year because you've been dropped and you've been sent back to France. You
And
know what I mean?
and then like because they didn't sign with a French org, even Mill, Vitality, yeah, one of them two, they would 100% like they would have took them. Like Samish wanted to come in, like Neo and that wanted to come into COD, but it was just way too expensive. And then I know for a fact players will probably be greedy, signed for whatever they signed for. Probably didn't even get a good deal at Denial, if I'm being honest. I don't know the numbers, but they probably didn't. Denial guy probably saw them coming a mile away. And now 3/4 of the team are just gone. Just nowhere to be seen.
It makes it even worse
Uh,
that they're stuck in with a team, yeah, that they have to speak English. And let's put it out there, if you've ever had a relative that's foreign or you've ever worked with foreign people, you know, in high intensity situations, they turn to their native tongue. So, and we all know Whalers is a nervous player, especially in international teams. So
Yeah, this
he's
seems
gonna
like a
get
slope.
nervous. He's not gonna be able to. Well, you got to think about it. You're playing Black Ops 4. You not only got to think 1,000 miles an hour, you also got to think about what fucking language you're speaking about. This is the worst combination team I've seen in my fucking life.
Yeah, I don't think it's great. Let's move on to the last team, UIU. For you who don't know, Proto Mayhem.
Zillion's been wasted, bro. Let's put it out there, bro. He's probably he was the best they are going into the fucking league, and now he's stuck on this team.
What a group for him to be in though.
Pathetic. Fucking pathetic.
Mayhem Methods, obviously Parzillion as we've talked about, and Royalty. Thoughts on this, Ton?
I was tweeting. Sorry. This team UYU. I think realistically, this group, as you said, it could have went worse.
Yeah, good enough for the group, not good enough for the
Yeah.
rest of them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They were a team that was sort of on the cusp of being like top 8 consistently. You know, they were getting better. The methods changed, seemed to have worked. But then from then, they just seem to have stalled a little bit. And I'm just not sure. But this group they'll be fine in. But I worry that they will do good in this group and then go straight into like a decent position within the winners bracket and get smoked. So I don't know. They're a weird team. They're one of those weird teams. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, if it wasn't for this group, you'd probably be putting them at the bottom part of most of the other pools.
Yeah, the only team in this group that I could put in another group and say that maybe could come out is Heretics. The rest of them not fucking good enough. Not good enough, and your roster changes are shit as well. And you got all this talent, and you in dog shit changes. Like, there's so many people that could be on these rosters and make them 10 times better. Or just a combination of players. Like, you've got people that have gone from Sorgs to ARs. Like, it's just not good enough.
I don't mind the
Like, two
the royalty
Frenchies and
pickup.
three Frenchies and 2 Americans. It's pathetic.
It's a terrible idea.
As Reedy said, they're gone. You are gone. You aren't going to perform. Let's put it out there. You are not going to perform unless a fucking whatever big rock from space comes in and fucking hits everyone else but them.
Is it like Space Jam?
Torn. I don't even know what you call them.
Trout,
What
have
they're
you
called.
protected against big rocks from space at this event? That is very important.
Do you know what? I think I need to bring it up with the events team because that is something we are not ready for. If a big rock comes out of
It's
space,
possible, Madcat. They haven't prepared for it.
it's up there with not having enough hairspray for you, mate.
Whoa.
Oh, she.
Wow. You know what? And on that note, let's move on to the predictions. Trout, your predictions, please.
Heretics and UIU. Yeah, I think what the guys said about all the other teams kind of summarizes my thoughts without, the bluntness.
I just wish there was a mid-season relegation because.
Oh, I would have had all these teams out of the league. Out of here.
Reedy, predictions?
I can't even remember the group, but
Midnight Heretics, UIU, and Elevate.
UIU and Heretics.
Dylan.
Agreed.
Tunn?
UIU Heretics.
Yeah, I'm pretty much thinking the same thing. It's an interesting group, that one. It really is. All right, now's the time where we do quick questions from the chat. If you're in the chat, feel free to throw a question in. Obviously not something as massive as franchising, like seems to be asked every single week because we can't do that quickly. It's a massive question. Obviously, if you want to ask things about the Gfinity event, we have got Chris Trout with us. But let's start having a little look. Some of these questions already are horrific. Right. Which individual player needs to prove the most at London?
Bance.
I want to say Bance, but I also think like
Potentially.
Aches and JCat maybe I could throw in that conversation.
them
Sort of
three.
eyes around them.
Yeah. Ben, J-Cap, Aches. Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are the ones with the most individual to prove. I can't really think of anybody else. Reedy, Trout, you think of anyone?
I want App to prove himself. I want people to realise.
Apathy, yeah.
TJ Halle. He could be gone if he don't perform.
Yeah, I can see that actually.
No, it's not that sharp. Yeah, Optic have to have a good event, yeah, man.
Yeah, I was trying to think who I would single out. It's like all of them realistically need to turn up because
Everyone,
not only
Dude, the
not
things
only
with
is it an
Halle.
event, they need to get back on track.
The
but
fans after TJ.
the fans are going to be disappointed if they don't.
Who's taking the AM bracket? I'm just going with Mind Freak.
no EU team. No EU. It's a shocker.
Oh no! I thought that Dave's team had a
Dave's team
chance.
look alright, yeah.
Dave.
Dave's
Who?
team, Sween.
Alliance.
Are you fucking mad? they just about will make top 8, bro. Toby Kleenex are the best chance. That Toby Kleenex and Jordan are the best chance for Europe.
I mean, I've not been watching anything. I just.
Right,
Sween
they-
would be
they-
doing
they-
it. What about Sween?
Team Sween. Sween's not even in Team Sween. I
Not
found
Team
out the other day.
anymore.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Team Sween's not even in Team Sween.
Yeah.
I mean, Sween's not even in Team Sween.
Wait, hold. What?
Team Sween's playing with what is it now? Detain and that.
Bids inside Detain and
Hold on.
someone else. Keza.
But technically, doesn't that make that team Sweden, or is the
No,
team?
they were in an org.
Okay. gonna say, wouldn't it be really weird if
B Sport and D-Frag are now in Team Sween.
Yeah, like
I don't know who's for. Who?
Team Sween
Ryan.
lost Alex and Dylan. Too much to lose.
yeah.
They couldn't win with Alex. You're not gonna win with anyone else. Like, like B Sport and Alex, totally different. Like you're gonna get a 1.3 Alex, like a 0.8 Josh. It's not good enough.
Okay, let's move on. Who's better at Blackout, Ton or Bryce? That's obviously me. Does Scraps deserve the ego he has? I'm not sure if Scraps has got that. Well, I don't know if you call it like an ego. He knows he's good.
Yeah.
He's got a character.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, he's just a character.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say he's got a.
He's a role play character.
Yeah.
Joking. No, Matt deserves it, man. He's got a good personality. He's got a good brand going on. That's just like he hasn't got well, he does have an in-game ego at times, but he's not a cunt about it. Put it that way.
Yeah, you can't be successful, I don't think, if you don't have a bit of arrogance about yourself.
Yeah.
Can we get Madcat and Reedy on the analyst desk for London? Trout?
I mean, if I made that decision, 100%. But I don't. I'll put
You'd be fired.
I'll put the idea out.
No, do not.
Yeah, they last 2 games, so they just went off the reservation and it'd be done.
Escorted out the building.
Yep.
Oh, come on, man. I'd shower that analyst desk down. Listen, that analyst desk, I'd take all their jobs, man.
Oh my goodness. Let's have a little look. Right, champs final 1v1 S&D. Who you got to get you to the cash, Reedy or Ace?
Depends. Honestly,
bro. Reedy.
Depends on what map.
What?
Depends on what map and the situation.
You're a fucking idiot.
Because some guy.
This guy just said what map?
I don't know, because if it was on World War II, he's probably got me.
On this
for
game,
every other
bro.
game. On this game, on me every single day of the week.
Yeah,
Madcat, are you going to compete again this year?
Damn, I don't even know if I'm gonna compete ever again, bro.
All right, that's depressing news. Same for Reedy. Same question.
I'm not competing this year now. I'm done with this game. I don't enjoy this game.
I love this game, but like, fucking hell, the scene is turned to a fucking shambles.
I don't really agree with how everything is. Oh my god, sorry. I don't really agree with how the AM circuit is working this year.
This
so
is why
I'm just gonna wait till next year and see what the
After every discussion, he's about who's in the group.
Yeah.
No, I was honestly Ajax just hit the post, mate. It should be 2-0. But yeah, so I didn't really like the way after not qualifying for the league, I didn't like the way the AM circuit was being done for myself. I tried to play and tried to find an org. No org was interested. So hopefully next year, if franchising does come in, I'll have to work my way back up into
Yeah,
the
like
pros,
baseball can't even get funding for an event. Like we could get funding back in 2010. Like how bad has it got?
I mean, I had pretty decent American team, and we couldn't get a sniff or anything. So when that happened, it's just not luxury. I mean, I don't know the word for it, but it being called an amateur bracket, from CWL standpoint, I don't think it should be called that. I think it should be called a challenger event, and it'll probably pull more orgs to feel more inclined to invest. The word amateur just doesn't seem.
Yeah, I think you can say that because it's just called the open bracket. I don't think it's called amateur bracket. I think people call it the amateur bracket. It's actually called open. But yeah,
it is the amateur. I'm literally swear blind. I can go on the CWL thing. That's what they labeled it at the start of the year.
Right, we do that while I move on with questions because there are a few coming in. Where was this one? Someone asking Trout if it's possible to get EG versus EU on Alpha on main or Bravo. I don't think Chris is the right person to talk to for that. Chris,
If the schedule's out, it's not changing, is it?
Nah, I don't think Chris Trout does a lot of things at Gfinity, but I'm not sure he can impact and just go, yeah, screw it, I'll put that on.
EGEU on main stage.
I'm pretty sure they're all streamed.
Yeah, it'll be.
They're
They're
just
all streamed.
yeah, they're just all like obviously some games will be cast and some won't.
Who
So
do
you
you
can
think
still
is the
watch.
dark horse? Or well, I'm going to say dark horse for the event.
EG for me.
EG, all right.
I'd say FaZe.
I'll be denial.
Probably, I was thinking denial. The problem is a dark horse is typically one of those teams outside the big teams that you think will do better than maybe expected. Denial fits that. The thing is, the problem with like if you said FaZe, right? You kind of expect FaZe to do something because they've got some really big names on that team, like Scraps and Trey going. A lot of people have instantly gone over to that team and been like, "Yeah, this is a great team. We love those two."
But Celium and Asim and Bracket, Zuma is not really done
do
shit.
you know
this
what's
year.
crazy? Do you know what Tony just said then?
Yeah, I did say that. Okay, fair enough.
It's just ingrained in people's minds that it's called an amateur bracket. So
but they've just come over from there.
Do you know what the biggest?
Question marks.
I'm actually surprised that Alliance or Allegiance, I can never say the name right, actually came in. Like, fair play to them, honestly. Because that's like the first time I've seen a big
Steve-O's team. Oh no, it's
no,
Steve-O's
the
team.
Queef's team.
Dave's team.
Honestly, like now they've done it, more teams might be seeing them come in, might be more inclined to come in. So I'm excited for it, but yeah.
I thought I was getting trolled. I had one of the social guys messaging me about a press pass, and I was like, "Sorry, who are you for?" And I go, "Alliance." I'm like, "You mean that massive organization?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I was like, "Can you get someone from Alliance to actually send me an email just to check? Because I can't be sure who you are." Turns out they were legit, and I was like, "Okay then, fair enough."
Big org as well.
Yeah, it's a massive org. It's honestly, when I saw that announcement, I was like, "What the fuck?"
That's
But
because Pete's really good friends with one of the thingies.
But yeah, so like the fact that they've come in, it might like for the open bracket teams and that like other orgs might feel more inclined to come in, which I'm kind of hoping for because that's the whole reason why I had to stop playing. Like I couldn't
Yeah,
put
it's
money.
not worth the investment.
Shh.
Oh, but
I think it will
real,
be.
like,
I think it will be.
pathetic.
Like,
It needs to be next year. It has to be next year.
Would you call Record dark horse though after
No,
fourth?
they've got a
there are expectations on that
expected to
team.
good. Yeah, there's expectations now, and Tom's got too many fans and just plays poorly.
Oh yeah, if you can't call Wreck a dark horse when that crowd's gonna be full of a player's fans. Like it's gonna be insane. Like he sold like I don't know how many tickets he got at the end, but he's gonna have to clean out part of the bar to pay his kind of like his tab. It's unreal. Let's say look at the rest of these. We're gonna need to move on to the rest of the questions now because we're gonna start wrapping it up. Imagine the Rec versus FaZe final casted by Swanee, Reedy, and Madcat. I'd pay so much money. I'd let you guys just do it instead of me.
Do the open bracket?
No, if you do the final, Rec versus FaZe final casted by Swanee, Reedy, and Madcat. I think Swanee would just lose his mind just trying to prove what he's doing.
I really hope he makes an appearance this weekend.
I've heard he's down. I heard Callum Swan. You've heard it here first. Maybe making an appearance at CWL London.
I loved seeing that fucking little beard stroll into Birmingham last year. So it's been a while since we've seen him.
You say FaZe Rec. You know what I would love to say? FaZe denial after all the shit that was talked.
Oh, bro, if that happens, let's put it here. Reese Price is hitting a 2.9k. Because he's not happy.
He won't be. That'll be mad. Anyway, sorry.
And that's, mate, I actually want to say that's going to be one of the big games. Someone asked, is it true next year you would need to pay to enter the league? I don't know what that's about.
That sounds like a franchising question.
Is that a franchising question?
Yeah. Yeah, it's right. Yeah, next question.
Yeah. What's behind Josh's B Sport thing? Why does everybody call Josh B?
The first team.
Legendary.
The first team that was ever created that Josh was in was Bloodsport. And the original team, Josh was the only one left to play in that team. And his game tag after he left that was just B Sport Josh, and everyone just got stuck with it.
Yeah. It actually became, even though he named his gamer tag after his own name, like B Sport became his actual handle.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
because he was like the only one to keep playing. It was like him, Curious, two other people,
Annoying little bastards to play against.
And then he just kept that game tag on Black Ops 1. Then.
Fair enough. Trout, do you know of any possible reaction camps of Bravo, Charlie, and Delta? I don't know because obviously you don't do all the production.
Be for Bravo as they usually do. Mm-hmm. I think they do that for Fort Worth. But Charlie and Delta will just be gameplay.
Okay, fair enough. Confirmed. Let's have a look. Who's winning the event? That is a bloody good question. Who's winning the event? Let's just run through it quickly. Trout.
This is like a rap question.
100T.
Reedy.
I have no fucking idea, mate. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I ain't got a clue. I don't even want to say.
Okay, Dill.
Dill?
Hello.
Hundred
Okay.
Thieves, maybe 100 Thieves or Splice. Final.
Oh yeah, see, I'm gonna pick Splice, and I want to see a Splice Rec final. But that's just me, Tunn.
It's really hard to say. If I was to go with a safe pick, I'd say 100T.
All right. That kind of brings us to the end of this Spitfire. Let's go through the shout-outs first of all. Reedy?
Yeah, big up, man. Thanks for letting me back on again.
Brilliant.
You're welcome, Paul.
Thanks for coming on, mate. I do appreciate it. I always make sure that Tunn gets you an invite. Madcat, thanks for joining us. You are always welcome. You certainly make a big impact whenever you come on, and I do.
I should run this fucking
Spitting
show.
mad
What I should do.
facts.
I should run this fucking show. Is what I should do.
No, come on now. I'll give you the nice tag under your name and everything. I ran the show all right today. I on the production side was fine.
I didn't even heard you the whole day.
Shut your
What do you
face.
mean?
He does a lot
Apart
of
from the camera fiasco at the start.
Here we go. The camera fiasco is because people kept dropping their cameras like Jordan's trying to do now, but it hasn't seemed to work this time, so it's fine.
Fuck's sake.
Okay, Madcat, anything you think you want to shout out in particular?
Oh,
No, brilliant. Right, Trout. Let's talk anything from the Gfinity side. I know there's a bit here. There are tickets still available now.
Use code Bryce.
CWL.gfinityesports.com. As Reedy said, you can use the code Bryce to get some £10 discount off that. Only advice is get there early. Make sure you get yourself a seat and enjoy the day. Because obviously, if you turn up late, you might get caught in a queue with thousands of other people doing bag checks. So you want to avoid that.
yeah. As well,
The only other second thing I have to say is apologies for saying that this podcast wouldn't get past 5 or 6 episodes.
Trout, I hope you know that if I have to stand in the queue, I will remove every single person in front of me from that queue. I hope you know I'm not sitting in
What you
no
gotta
queue.
do, mate.
How are you not
gotta
in a
do-
coaching position, Madcat? Like that's.
Who the fuck
I was
wants
gonna
to
say.
will coach you?
Mate,
I take controllers after half of them.
True. Still, yeah. Sub fucking and be a coach, dude. Like that's.
well.
Anyway, that's a lot of conversation for it. Tunny.
Sorry, I was just reacting to a question in the chat. Well, so we're going to have some giveaways going on after this episode. Keep an eye on the AGL Twitter. It will go on for, I would say, probably about 2 weeks. And just keep an eye on Twitter. We're going to have giveaways with Astro and whatnot. I believe this is going to be the last episode of the season. We're going to have new graphics package and stuff when we're back after London and whatnot, hopefully. And then we're going to sort of like rejig the show a little bit.
Yeah, and we're kicking it up a gear.
Yeah, well, Bryce reckons he is. I don't know what I'm doing extra, but I don't know. We'll see.
We changing shit around.
But yeah, episode 21 is still going to be hopefully the last one of series 1. Bearing in mind, hope we get graphics, but how the fuck we made it to 21 episodes. I thank you to Brycey for keeping it consistent, even though he's been whinging at me
to get another episode out.
Even though he's been whinging at me about trying to get people on, and it's never my fault if they don't come on. You know what I'm saying? But either way, yeah, that's gonna be it from me. Keep an eye out. We've got giveaways going on. Season 2 starts in, I'd say, 2 weeks.
All right. Well, that has been episode 21. Season 2 will be coming up. We will be fetching around for some feedback as well. Of course, thank you so much to our guests, Trout, Reedy, and Madcat. I think this has probably been one of the best episodes we've done. Hopefully it gets better in the future. CWL London is, of course, coming up. I believe it's the 3rd to the 5th of May. Join us all there. We look forward to seeing you. Good night.